Hi, welcome back to the Make a Baby podcast. We have some exciting things to talk about. First of all, it is December 24th. It's Christmas Eve, and I'm recording this podcast because I have a lot to share. So when you're listening to this, it'll be Christmas Day. I have a lot of things that we are going to talk about. This is not going to be a long episode. First of all, Merry Christmas. And this episode's most likely going to change your life because I have changed my life in the past month. I want to share, first of all, is the lesson I want you to take away from this podcast episode is that it's really important to know that you're meant to evolve, you're meant to change, and your intuition and your womb are the best assets and the best compasses of what direction you need to go. Let me explain. The more connected you are to your womb, the more connected and aligned you are with your soul. Your soul, your gut, your intuition run the same frequency. So when your soul is allowed to express itself through nudges in your gut, which is your womb, in your voice can expand and express itself freely without the fear of persecution, without hindrances. You can accurately advocate for yourself, and you also can accurately tell people what you need or where you want to go, or even voice that to yourself. In the past month, I've made some really big decisions I'm going to share with you in this podcast episode. And I'm going to be very honest. I've been sitting with some of these decisions for months, but I just didn't know what direction I needed to go in. I knew the Make a Baby membership had to change. That was one of the first clues. I knew this in August, September, but I had spent many, many hours over the past 3 years. That's how old it is. It came out in October 2021, building this community, changing its names, changing platforms, growing it, mentoring it. But when I stopped getting downloads from my spirit guides, from my ancestors, from my higher self on what to do for the next month and what to teach and what my clients needed inside that membership, I knew something was off. So that's where I was like, okay, we need to do something different with this. But I don't know what this is. So then I got just enough download to carry me through the end of the year. Fantastic. So when it came at the end after Thanksgiving, I got clarity. And it was the membership that you're doing right now needs to shut down and you need a break. And once you take a break, I'll give you the answers that you need, but do this part first. And that's what my higher self is telling me. And my womb was saying, it's going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. So I did that. I let the members know November 30th and saying, hey, December is going to be our last month as we know it inside the membership. Took care of all the back end and techie and billing things. And I communicated. I don't know what we're going to do next, but it's not the end for this container. It's not the end for this amazing community that we've built. But it needs to change. This is not serving me anymore. It has to serve me as much as it serves the people that I am helping conceive their babies and helping them heal. So for me I had to be comfortable with not knowing what my next move was. I just knew the moment, my present moment said, you need to rest and you need to take care of you and you need to pause. As a human design projector, if you don't know what human design is, Google it. It's amazing. I'm a self-projected projector, so I'm pretty rare. I can see patterns. I can see the invisible writing on the wall that nobody else sees. I also am probably the most self-aware person that you will ever meet. So I knew, because I've had this pattern before myself of like, do what you need to do right now that your higher self says and wait. Patience produces rewards for me. When I'm patient, I get rewarded. When I rest, I get paid. Facts. So, and paid doesn't mean monetarily. Paid also means getting answers. Paid means like, hey, you get a personal win, or here's your next chess move, or this is your next strategy. So for me, I had to sit for a while with this. And I really had no clue. I had ideas, but they were always like, this is just an idea. This is not the move. It wasn't the feeling in my womb, in my gut. When people say gut, it's really your womb, because your gut is your lower stomach. Anything below your belly button is your womb. So just understand, when people say gut, it's really your womb. So I was like, no, this is not it. Like, my ideas would come in like, yeah, that could work, but that's not the thing that we're supposed to do next. Then someone said, the biggest names in in the online space, like Alex Hormozy, Mr. Beast, and these are not healers. But Mr. Beast is the biggest YouTuber. He gives all of his information for free. Alex Hormozy, he does online courses and things like that. He gives it all away for free. So I'm in this womb mentorship, and I'm learning about ancient Egyptian womb healings and technology and methods and connection to your higher self, your womb, your cycle seeking with the moon. It's flipping fantastic. It's changing my life. And my mentor said, what if you gave it all away for free? And I had been toying with the idea of, what if I did make this free? But I had not said it out loud verbally. And she goes, what is your vision for 2025? I was like, I want to reach the masses. I want to go balls to the wall with Reiki, womb healing. I want to talk about all the psychic things. I want to talk about all the spiritual things. I want to talk about spirit babies, and I want to go deep. I don't want to just be like pulling cards. I want to talk about how you can see your spirit baby, talk to them, connect with them. I want to talk about how to be the best self now, present day. I want to talk about how to get your relationship or your marriage like the happiest, sexiest that it's ever been while you're trying to have a baby. I want to talk about living life and at level 10, 100 million, whatever. I want to be the most unburdened, most abundant, happiest version of myself in 2025. And that is talking about big service. And she goes, okay, so if you want a big name, big service, and you want your podcast to go harder and bigger, you got to give it all away for free. I was like, damn. She was right. 100% right. So it's like, let's do the thing. And this was the moment. I knew if I had waited and I was patient enough, I would get rewarded. And it was the aha moment. It was the full body yes for me. It was a hell fuck yes. And it's a difference. If it's not a hell yes, then I'm going to wait for a better option. I'm not saying no, because I'm not taking myself out of the count. But I want to tell you something. I dropped that membership to my list, my email list. I dropped it to TikTok and I shared it to my Instagram stories. 15 people joined in the first 3 hours. You gonna tell me that's a coincidence? What we're gonna do inside the Make a Baby membership, now that it's free, it has its own new online portal. It has a new community that I'm going to be talking to you directly. I'm teaching you how to do Reiki level 1. Can you imagine a world of women who knew how to regulate their emotions, cleanse their energy, and heal their wombs? Can you imagine the power and the vibration of the earth, how that would change and what that would do for their fertility? And how would that make them even better mothers than they are right now? The power to heal oneself is critical, given the circumstances of the pregnancy and all of the stress and the economy, workplace, so many things, so many stressors. And if you're struggling with infertility, there's just another layer. That's top tier stress. So my mission is to teach you how to do Kundalini Reiki level 1 so you can learn to heal yourself. I'm also going to teach you about your chakras. I'm going to teach you how to talk to your spirit guides and your spiritual team. I'm going to talk to you about what womb healing is. What are the most common blockages? Not just be like, okay, here's how you do Reiki and leave you. Created a workbook. I created a dedicated Telegram exclusive community where we're going to talk. In the club, we're all fam, but you have to join the Telegram community. So this is where we're going to change lives. Women are going to get pregnant from this container because one, it's powerful and it's not going to be easy. The work that we do is not easy. Most people don't reflect. Most people don't look in the mirror. Most people are not willing to expand. But I'm going to let you know, the women that I work with, they are forever changed based upon the work that we do. And let's talk about the work. The work that I do is no longer just Reiki. It never really has been. When I left corporate, I wanted to feel legitimate. I wanted to feel like I was legitimate because I was going from an extremely regulated, structured industry to a very intangible thing that people said I was crazy for and now is super popular. Reiki was not popular 8 years ago. It wasn't. People thought I was batshit crazy. I was told that I was going to fail. You know how many people told me I was a loser? And here I am, a globally topped 5% podcast in the world, 18,000 followers on TikTok, there are 9 Reiki babies to date. That's nothing small. We're doing powerful things here. But my work with you is deeper than just healing some chakras and balancing and pulling an oracle card. We're going into the deepest parts of your womb. It's more than shadow work. We do identity work. What are your limiting beliefs? What kind of clear abilities do you have? Because you're a psychic. What kind of mom do you want to be? What kind of mom was your mom? What kind of parent was your father? How do you identify as a parent? Here are some resources. Go explore, go play, figure out what kind of parent you want to be. Did you know there's different parenting styles? Do you want to breastfeed? Do you want to formula feed? Do you know both are okay? Let's teach you about discernment. Discernment is when you make decisions for yourself and you use your intuition. You're like, no, that's not for me. I feel this in my bones. I feel that in my womb. I feel that in my gut. No, that's not for me. Or yes, I'm all in. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Or something about what that person said was not right, but it was enough for me not to want to go with them. That's discernment. Activating that within you. Everyone has it. We need to practice it and we need to learn how to make decisions with it because it's critical. My psychic abilities is I can see inside people's wombs. I'm a psychic medium. I can channel spirit babies. I can channel evidential things with past loved ones. I've been doing it for 7 years. I started my career, my spiritual awakening, because I wanted to be a medium so I could talk to my dad after he passed. So I became a medium unknowingly before I became a healer. But now I'm here. Mediumship, 5 Reiki master certifications, and a walking Reiki encyclopedia, a human design projector, and an intuitive healer. I can read people's chakras without even doing a pendulum. I can talk to spirit babies. 5 things. And now I'm a priestess. I'm coming out. This was the other big thing. Now I've been studying ancient Egyptian womb techniques, African womb techniques, learning about Mary Magdalene, deconditioning even further, decentering men for my life, being more soul and womb focused, tracking my cycle and my moods and my phases of my cycle, listening to the moon. I've been fully initiated into being a womb priestess. Now, the Reiki is not going away. It's just a part of it now. I'm embracing and publicly sharing more of my spiritual gifts. in leading more with those and leading less with Reiki. In my corporate self, I felt like I had to be taken seriously. I had to have a certificate. And I do think there's a lot of value in having certificates and proper education in your craft. And what I'm doing has not it's not going to significantly change. It's just being enhanced. I have more tools, more knowledge, more explanations for our cycles. The work I've done in the membership, the Make a Baby headquarters, and my private coaching has really been focused on emotions and wounds and relationships and limiting beliefs. But now we're combining that with what day are you on your cycle? What moon is today? Is it a half full moon? Is it a half new moon? Okay. Based upon this, what did you eat today as well? How hydrated are you? We're going to be involving more of the moon and your cycle into my work, into the work that you do. And that's the difference. We are still going to be doing Kundalini Reiki because Kundalini is about reaching your highest potential. And Kundalini is the life force energy that gives you life. So it already exists within you. So when we tap into our womb and we tap into that Kundalini, combine it together with the moon and the facts about where are you with your cycle? How long is your phase? What are some patterns we're knowing with the data that we collect or that you learn how to do that? A lot of women don't know how to track their cycles. A lot of women don't know how to track their cycles. A lot of women don't know anything about the moon. Guess what? 2 months ago, I didn't know shit about the moon. And here I am eating it all up, creating altars, creating new ceremonies. So this is me publicly saying, hey, I'm leading more with my spiritual gifts, owning all parts that I am. And Reiki will still be there. Reiki will still be a very main part of what I do. But my mediumship and my intuition are going to be what I lead with first, not so much with Reiki. And what we'll be doing is my main paid offers will be private coaching now and our Make a Baby headquarters, which we're launching January 11th. So if you're wanting to do group work and you're wanting to get live healings consistently every Saturday morning, we will be at 9:30 Central Standard Time. Headquarters is going to be where it's at. So I'm officially a womb priestess, which is different than just a womb healer. I'm going to be holding space with ceremonies, working with herbs, working with different candles and allowing more more energy to be moved in addition to the Reiki. It's going to be really powerful, really majestic, really magical. And I'm going to be teaching you how to do that too. So it only benefits you. So now, where does this stand for um, how I am working? Well, the membership will be free. So what that looks like is a community and a portal. And I will be doing new moon and full moon ceremonies. If you want to join those, you can join those for $22. Pick and choose which dates work for you, and you get the replay. The ceremonies are separate from the membership and they can be purchased as you choose to participate or not. I Make a Baby headquarters is our signature group program that gets you the results and we go deep. We do cover all of those wounds and more. And you get a 90-minute session with me, and that's a 12-week program. And then we have private healing and mentorships and containers of 6 months and 12 months. And we also have launched in my link tree, you can see the links below. We have some short-term psychic readings that we have launched for the first quarter of this year, from between now and December and the first quarter of next year. And you can also purchase a 2-hour Reiki session if you're not looking to get into a long-term coaching container and you just need like a deep healing session. You can book a Reiki session that way. I'm really proud of this community for transforming with me. And I think the more that we continue to heal our wombs, the less fear there is. I could have gotten really scared and said, "Oh no, I don't know what I'm doing. What's going to happen to me? What if people think XYZ?" When I noticed this pattern with my membership, no fear. And that's what it's like to live life with emotional safety. And that is at the core of everything that I teach. Emotional safety is really important to have within yourself and your relationship with yourself and how you think and speak to yourself inside your mind and heart and in your womb so that you can also have it with others. My community, they were like, okay, there was no unhappy campers. They're like, you've served us so well. Also about living in integrity and also being honest. It's okay to share. I don't have all the answers, but this is where my heart is. And this is where I would like to go, maybe, but I'll let you know for sure. Can you imagine a world where we had that much grace with ourselves or that much compassion for each other? I read this book called A Circle of Stones. Can you imagine a world where she had a home to come back to when she bled? Can you imagine a world when she had a home where women were to receive her while she bled? Can you imagine a world where she had a home where she could come back and have anger? Can you imagine a world where she came back and she could be received and held? Can you imagine a world where she came back and just bled and rested? Can you imagine a world you get to feel your emotions, express them, and learn to navigate them while you're trying to have a baby and become a mom and heal yourself so you don't have panic attacks every day and you don't spiral when you have a negative pregnancy test and you're trying to figure things out. And the doctor said, everything's normal. You're fine. Sorry, you're not pregnant yet. Can you imagine a world where you had a home to come back to, where you could be held and you could be mad and you could express it safely and you knew how to heal yourself? That's what I'm trying to do now and in 2025. That's what I'm trying to do. So if you need a good book, pick up A Circle of Stones. It's really worthwhile. So that's what I want to do with the Make a Baby membership. And that's actually what I did. That's what we're actively doing. I'm going to be pouring myself into there. And for women who've had one baby and they're coming back for a second, shout out to Allie who sent me a DM tonight. You made my day. Some women, one Reiki baby is not enough. They want second and thirds and fourths. That's great. I'm here for it. If you have a desire, you deserve to fulfill it. If you want a baby, the Make a Baby brand universe is here to serve you. I want you to know you are worth everything in the world. Just like I tell myself, you're worthy of serving, you're worthy of taking up space, and you deserve to be in every room. You are magical. And my last thought is I was sitting in church tonight. I hadn't been to this church since Ollie was 2. This is where he got baptized, and we're members of this church. It's a long story. Anyway, I was thinking to myself, what if women knew that they were holy? You're like, what? And I thought to myself, I was looking at the stained glass windows. I was looking at my son be um, the most serious donkey next to the manger you've ever seen. And I thought to myself, why aren't we holy? Why as women, why don't we consider ourselves holy? Why don't we consider our wombs holy? Why don't we consider our wombs sacred? Let alone, why don't we think of ourselves as sacred? And then I was listening to the hymns. I was listening to reading the bulletin. It has a lot to do with the church. And everyone has their own journey, but I have done a lot of things to deconstruct and decondition myself from the patriarchy and definitely from the church. And that was a light bulb moment for me. My womb is holy, and so is yours. You are not the person who gets put down anymore. If you're listening to this, I meant to activate this with inside of you. You are not small, you're not insignificant, and you're not ordinary. Your womb, your fertility, your infertility Your life, your existence is sacred. You are meant to do big things. You are meant to have a baby if you choose to and want to. You are important. And that was my takeaway when I was staring at my son. I was staring at, just observing everything. I was taking it all in. And I thought to myself, of course I am. I made that child. I did something right to make that man sit next to me and love me in a way that I think is so rare. So my marriage is one for the books. An amazing way. The way that man loves me is so wild. Brings me tea, waits on me hand and foot, adores me no matter what size I am. He goes, "You're my whole world." And I thought, my God, the universe and God made me. And I have these two humans that are mine. How could I not be sacred? How could I not be a womb priestess that's living her best life serving the world? How can you be listening to this podcast and not think a miracle is happening right now? You're sacred. And that's how we need to think of ourselves going forward every fucking day. And your womb is not just for making babies. It births everything that's in your life. It is the source of your creativity, the home of your soul, the source of your curiosity and your passions, your hobbies, and it holds on to every single memory and every single emotion you've ever felt if it's never been released. And that's what we need to heal inside any of the containers you join. You'll learn how to do Reiki. So, my friend, remember that you're sacred and that you're holy and you are epic. Until next time, my friend, I love you. Merry Christmas.